So RV. All right, we're live. Look at a couple people in here. Kubiako.
Got it. Is it a way to put the double screen on this thing? Nah, I'll just leave it like this. That's cool.
And then I got in the private chat. So we are live. We're just waiting for some people to pop in and we'll start going off. So it doesn't show me your Instagram, so I can't tell if we're live or how many people are watching it.
Cool.
All right, we got some people. Let's get started. All right, we are back. We are going to be talking today about Dan Orlovsky, all the issues and problems he was causing on ESPN today. Loudmouth full. We got some roster moves that are happening. We got some top 30 visits that happened over the weekend, some Zoom calls, and then also a couple other things with some players happened. One I'm excited about, Lee Hunter actually had a meeting with the team, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to get right into it, man. Like right off the bat, Kubiak's offense, everybody knows what he runs. He does a big set, 12 set, 2 tight ends. He's heavy, power run. Quarterback's under center. And you saw that, oh my God, Orlovsky said that, hey, Mendoza's not a good fit because he doesn't play under center. Got to be one of the dumbest comments I ever heard. You see people in NCAA not play under center on a routine basis, and it translates in the NFL. Like, what do you think about Orlovsky's comments, man?
I mean, bro, I'm looking at this and I'm like, dude, you already know college football is shotgun heavy, right? Because you got the run pass options. It gives the quarterbacks a lot of time to set up and read the defenses. And, you know, he should already know. And then I think last time, even with the Ty Simpson thing, when he went, I think the first time he went on Pat McAfee, dude, he got ate up in that. Every point he tried to go, he was just like, okay, like everything he said, literally, he was like all in the feeds. And then he goes on First Take. And then the same thing. And I'm like, bro, like you just need to hang it up. I don't know what
he looked like an idiot. McAfee. Pat McAfee made him look like a dipshit. And it wasn't even close. You could just tell like you look like a moron.
Dude.
And so like, I pulled numbers and I shared those with you. Drake Maine, shotgun, 85 to 90% of the time. Bo Nix, 95%. Herbert, 90 to 95%. Yeah. And then we'll bring up Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was in the shotgun formation passing 99%-ish of the time, almost every time. Then if you look at somebody like Caleb Williams, so I'll give Danny O some credit here. He said, Caleb Williams isn't going to translate because he was in the shotgun all the time. Caleb Williams threw like 10, 15 passes, not out of shotgun in college. Yeah. So it just shows how uneducated Dan Orlovsky is, and he's just saying stuff for clickbait. He's saying stuff to get attention. And at this point, it's just like, yeah, you're a Raider hater. We get it. We know your guy has, he's in the same, the management group as you. We get Ty Simpson has the same agent as you. We understand that. You're doing this for clicks and money. You're getting paid to do it. That's why you're saying stupid shit. It's that simple. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I was just like, dude, I was watching that today at work, and I was just like, you guys are joking me, man.
Dude, I know. I saw it on X, bro. Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. I was like, is this guy really serious?
Well, look at Jaden Daniels. Like he was an RPO quarterback, and it translates. That's what works in the NFL. So you have somebody like you have Omar Cooper Jr. Omar Cooper is probably top 5, top 7 wide receiver in NCAA, right? Like I think we probably top 10 at least. Yeah, we can agree on that. Yeah. What are you going to do with a guy like that? You're going to spread him wide. You're going to spread out the defense, and you're going to give him the ball in space. How do you do that? Shotgun. It's that simple.
Of course.
So it's just, I mean,
and dude, if you look at Caleb Williams, bro, they had to because their offensive line was horrible. So they had to do a lot of shotgun, dude.
Yeah, Indiana's offensive line's not good. Good O-line play doesn't matter that much in NCAA. And you saw that in the Miami game. Miami had a way bigger, way better offensive line than Indiana. And it didn't matter. It's just like, hey, our team's better. We got more talent. Our quarterback's better. Our wide receivers are probably better right now because Tony's still developing. Like, we're a better team. We're not individually better players, but we're a better team overall. And I just think Orlovsky's a freaking moron. I'm going to say this is simple. Whoever drafts Ty Simpson, and I'm thinking I can see him going to Pittsburgh. I can see him getting in the 20th, the 30th range to one of the teams sitting behind. Whoever drafts him and starts him is going to get fired at GM. Period. He is not. He's not a good quarterback. He's 6 foot, 6'1", 205 pounds. He's injury prone. He's been knocked out of games. You saw the hits that Mendoza took in the Miami game and a couple other games, Ohio State. Like he got rocked. Like we're like,
No, he got
oh my
rocked,
god!
dude. Especially
Like the
down on
face
that
is going one way, the body's going another, the helmet
dude.
smashing the side of his face.
Yeah.
Ty
And he's big.
Simpson,
He's solid too, bro. He's
yeah,
solid, bro. You know?
yeah, and Ty Simpson in the Indiana game got knocked out with a rib injury. That's why he didn't play. He got hurt and he couldn't come back.
Yeah.
That's what you get with Ty Simpson, an
Hey,
undersized, non-athletic
on
quarterback.
that Pat McAfee show was when he was trying to bring up when he played against them. He's like, bro, they annihilated him, bro. Like he was like, every point he had, they like put him in the corner. They're like, bro,
that just shows me Dan Orlovsky didn't know what he was talking about. He was just saying stuff to say it, and you saw, we all watched that game. Most Raider fans watched the Alabama game. I mean, I think Simpson got knocked out the second quarter, and it was with a rib injury. So it's like, well, really, you're gonna have a rib injury and not be able to come back in the game? Do you have bruised ribs? Is it cracked? Is it broken? If it's broken, I understand. But if you're bruised ribs, go back in the game. You take your Toradol shot, you wrap it up, and you get back in there because you're better than what's behind you. And he didn't. I was like, oh, he doesn't have an NFL body. And I always joke about that because, like, I'll go up to a player. So, prime example, I tell the story all the time. I'm standing next to Divine Diablo. And I look at him, I'm like, this motherfucker's I'm like, this dude's a linebacker? I'm like, no, I'm bigger than him. I can't play linebacker. And I told my friends that, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's a safety, and he's a small safety at that. And they're like, oh, he put on weight. I'm like, no, when I saw him, he was like 225. I was like, he's my height, and he's smaller than me. I was like, he does not have an NFL body. I'm like, he's not going to last. He's going to be a rotational guy. He's going to eat up on the run, and that's exactly what happens. He's fast. He's athletic, but he can't play middle linebacker. And I try to tell people that. That's like my gauge. I see some of these dudes, I'm like, oh, that dude's massive, or like that dude's too small, or like, there's certain, like Derek Carr. Derek Carr was he was a smaller quarterback, but he was still big. Or somebody like Paul Lamont. Paul Lamont was massive. He's 6'4", 220. He's a big dude. And I saw him, I'm like, how the hell does this guy play safety? So when I see small players like that, I'm like, no, he ain't gonna last. You're gonna eat up.
On TV, he doesn't look that big though. On TV, he's not that big.
I think he's 205, 206.
Yeah.
And one of the things I pulled up in the past, and I'm sure the numbers change by now because the game's changed. Quarterbacks are smaller, more mobile. But there was a point a few years ago in the past 5 years that quarterbacks under 210 pounds started like less than 20 or 25 games like the past 20 years. So if they're under 210, they don't play. Like that's just, it's not a thing. Under 6 foot and under 210 do not play in the NFL. And he's barely over 6 foot, and he's like 205, 208. So he has to put on 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the NFL body. It's just, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, no, he's not NFL.
And also to talk about the whole thing with what Mendoza taking the snaps. I mean, each game's going to be different, honestly. And you're going to have to adjust. There's going to be a lot of shotgun in certain games because each game is going to be a different game. You're playing a different defensive scheme every single time. So it's going to be multiple different things you're going to have to do, from the offensive coordinator calling this, the defense tighten up on this. So it's going to be both. It's going to be shotgun, and it's going to just be regular, passing. You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole lot of different options because each game is going to be different.
Yeah. And we got, you have a team like let's say we're playing the Raiders. Like I understand, I would say, okay, the Raiders have 4 really good linebackers or they can pass the rush. Obviously Kuntz or Kwity Paye setting up would be the weak link. So they're like, okay, is their nickel or dime cornerback or one of their extra safeties better than Kwity Paye? And the answer is probably no. So let's take him out of the game. Let's run 3 wide receivers. That's how you game plan. So people are going to So if you see a team that's like, well, their nickel corner is weak, maybe they're, 5-2's weak, whatever the case may be. Maybe their nickel set's weak. Maybe their dime set's weak, whatever the case may be. Maybe their middle linebacker can't coverage. You're going to spread them out. And then teams that are weak on the inside, you're going to run more power formations, more up the middle. It changes every week. And like you said, so it's just, there's not going to be any issues. He's not going to fumble the ball. He'll be fine. The fact that he ran an RPO and that doesn't translate. I'm like, what do you think Jackson Dart did at Ole Miss? He's running an RPO with his head first for no reason.
Yeah. Dude, he was taking too many chances, bro. Like, I'm watching this guy play. I'm like, dude, I want this guy. Like, he looks pretty good when he's sharp, but I'm like, dude, I want to at least have a good career, bro. Like, going head first, running in, and all that stuff.
He'll learn. He'll learn. Just like Jaden Daniels learned real fast. Like, I can't take these hits like I did in college. So
yeah.
He'll learn.
Jaden Daniels is like a smaller frame guy too. He doesn't look that big either,
And that was my worry about Jaden. I told people that. I was like, he's a smaller frame. He's going to have to change his quote unquote running style, because if he gets hit, like Lamar Jackson, you start to see Lamar Jackson. He was elite a few years ago, but those hits take their toll. You know, you see somebody like Cam Newton, who was just dominant for years and then fell off a cliff because he kept getting hit in the face. It hurts. It does not feel good. They running quarterbacks don't last long, and you know, I think Ty Simpson just doesn't have the body for it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and also Kubiak, you know, he said he 3 things that he likes in a quarterback: decision making, timing, and accuracy. And I feel like Mendoza does have them traits. You know what I mean? I feel like he doesn't rush the ball. Like, so I feel like that with Kubiak saying that, you know what I mean? Everything else can be worked, man. It's going to be a trial and error, especially, you know, with first time head coach and, you know, bringing it. The speed of the game is a whole lot faster too. You know, coming from college to NFL, I mean, you playing with the dogs, you know what I mean? Like, you playing with the best of the best. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a whole lot of change, but I'm looking forward to it too, though, you know, but
yeah, I think he'll do okay. Like, you know, I don't think Mendoza is going to start day one with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins played with Kubiak. He did very well under Kubiak.
Yeah.
So I can see Kirk Cousins starting about half the season. The problem is if Kirk Cousins has a winning year. If we're like 5-3 with Kirk Cousins, I'm like, wow. I was like, here we go. We're doing this all over again. So
and I think that's what I'm scared of, bro. And I'm like, man, here we go. Because I know Kirk Cousins is a little more older, and I'm like, I'm looking at the future, and I know like a lot of people saying like, you know what, let him start first, don't throw him in. But I'm one of those guys like, look, let's focus on the future, man. We've been doing the same thing over and over and over. But like I said, but I know with him being in, it's going to be less patience with Cousins in the game. You know what I mean? I feel like
Cousins got a short leash.
He's going to short leash, bro. And I feel like it'd be a little more patience having, you know, Mendoza in there. I feel it'd be a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
so somebody asked in chat, why is there so much hate for Mendoza? It's because they don't want us to have anything nice. So I talked about this a little bit on my personal page. Mendoza has the likable personality. He has the if he has the skill set, if he becomes a good quarterback, he can be one of the faces of the franchise, like Drake May. He can take that mantle from Josh Allen. He can take that mantle from Patrick Mahomes. He can take that mantle from Drake May. That's what Mendoza is. He's that guy that can be that wholesome, good character, very well spoken, very religious, very humble, just a overall great human being.
Yeah.
That's why they hate on him, because he's going to the Raiders who have none of those qualities or traits. And you got this guy who's like, holy, like, oh, you know, he's Tim Tebow with talent. That's what he is.
Hey, you know what's going to be funny? If we ever get, I know we're going to get some wins, but if we ever get to see him go, Raiders, just see him Mendoza say it, bro, I'll be like,
it's going to be the corniest Raiders ever.
Have you thought about that or no? I don't know if you thought about that.
I'm like, he's going to be like, and I just laugh. I'm like, I can't wait to hear. So Mendoza's cussed before. He said the F word on air a couple times. And he's like, I just felt like it was the right spot. I'm like, my God, dude, like you're so wholesome. It's so funny. But yeah, it's just, it's going to be funny to see people talk crap to him in game and see what he replies. Because all of a sudden you're going to be a rookie with a target on your back and people are going to be jawing at him. Yeah. But you got Max Crosby, you got Lyndon Bob, you got, you know, Miller, who are nasty guys, and JPJ. So I don't think you need enforcers with a rookie quarterback. And I think we got a couple of those, but it's going to be funny.
And I think they don't want to see us win too, bro. Like they always hate on us because, like, dude, you always look at like when you look at like week by week, they'll show all the highlights and they're like all the teams. You know, when we come to the Raiders, they'll show like 3 plays and they'll show the score. Like, you know what I mean?
3 plays, like, Ashton Jinsey getting hit in the backfield.
Yeah. You're like, oh, the score was whatever. You're like, all right, okay, cool. They put us like almost second to last. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, they do every single team. And it's like, I just feel like they're going to hate on us regardless. You know, I think he did good on his pro day. I think it kind of calmed it down just a little bit, you know, because he did.
He was a field general. That's what he was.
Yeah.
He was a field general. So,
yeah.
Somebody, we'll get to one of the comments. Somebody stated Dexter Lawrence. I would love for this to happen, but it ain't going to happen. We're not trading. So Lawrence wants out, and the problem is he admitted he wants out, so the trade value dropped right there. I really doubt they're going to get a first round for him. They're probably going to get a second and a player. If we were to trade our second at 36, I'd be 1,000% down. The problem with it is Dexter Lawrence's caliber. He's 28 years old, and he has a $20 million salary, and that's what he's worth. So it's like all of a sudden you got to figure out, okay, what do we do with cap? We got like 10 million, so we got to pull 10 million out of our rear.
And I looked up, he's in his 3rd year of his 4th year contract. So
he's
going
to get 20 million a year with probably you know, 70% of that guaranteed. He is a top nose tackle. That's what he is. So, you know, not an elite pass rusher, had good years, down years, you know, 5-6 sacks, but he's up there. He's an all pro. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I would love for it to happen, but he's 28 too. That's the other problem. He has like 3 years left. So, you know, I don't think it's going to happen, but
I
I
say
want
that
it to.
his capital does go down when you say you want out. So it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Somebody will probably pick him up though, you know?
Oh yeah. He'll be gone. Somebody will offer like
Yeah.
a second, maybe another second or a second and a player. And the Giants will be all over it, you know,
I
which
sent it to
makes
my
me,
Giant homie. I said, hey man, look at this. He's like, trade him, get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
which
"Get him out
sucks
of there."
because like, you know, you watch like as a Raider fan, like I love watching football. So like I watch
Yeah.
Scatabo, I watch Dart. I'm like, man, like these guys are fun to watch. Like I want to see them win. And to
Yeah.
see another player just like, oh no, I want more money, I'm out. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, are you going to spend that 25-30 million on a quarterback? You're going to spend it on the defensive tackle. You're going to put it on a quarterback and a wide receiver. That's what they got to pay Malik. You know, they're going to have to pay Jackson Dart. End of story.
Yeah.
So,
And then we just got
right, so
we brought back Snowden back. And then
so we got
I
some
don't know what our
roster
cap
moves
I don't know
today.
what our cap is now with that. So I don't even know if we need to
Snowden was 3.3. I think we're about 10, 12 million, somewhere around there. We had let me see if they have it over the cap. It was about 24 million. We need about 12 to 13, 11 to 13, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Because when you have players on we have 23 million. We need about 12 of it. So 11 million. I don't think Snowden's on here yet. So when you draft players, you got to figure you're going to cut some people. They're going to take some roster spots, things like that. So there's always some overlay. So there's going to be some guys that are cut, and we're going to get $1 million here, $1 million there. Let me see if he's on here. 3.3, because I know he got 3.3. I don't see him on here.
Yeah, I did see it. I did see it on there. So I saw him pop up earlier.
He's not on there yet. So he probably have about 9 million, 10 million, somewhere around there. But he's getting like $3 million. He's one of those guys that's going to be a rotational player, which is good. You always need pass rushers. He can get 3 to 6 sacks depending on how he does. So I mean, I'm all for it. We've been waiting for that guy to break out for years because of his athleticism and his size. Like he looks like a pass rusher, and it's just never played out. So it's a good move. Will Putnam on the other hand, I'm like, he's a rotational guy. He's a depth piece. I mean, he's horrible. He's not that good, but you need a backup center, and you need a backup guard. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
So as soon as I saw that, I was like, backup center. That's why I texted. I was like, yeah, get back up. You never know what happened, injuries and whatnot. Rotate, like I said, a depth piece. We need it anyway. So and it's small cap hit too, so it's not like it's not crazy.
And hey, it's the coolest number. So like the funniest thing last year. So every time he came out, all the kids would start screaming 6'7". I could tell by the end of the year that dude hated it. Like he was so sick of hearing it. Because every kid would go like this and scream it at him when he walked by. And there was times he just shook his head. He's just like I was like, that sucks. I'm like, I know it's not fun to hear that all the time, but it's life.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny. But one other thing. So we did get into, we had a couple visits over the weekend, and we had a couple Zoom calls and things like that. We did, I'm not sure if you're familiar, Bryce Botcher from Oregon. So they had a call with him. He was top 10 in NCAA in tackling, kind of a high motor guy, high IQ, a little bit undersized, not big, not fast, not strong. Just one of those guys that's always around the ball, kind of like Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Very aggressive, always around the ball, doesn't have all the skill set that Rodriguez has, but he can play middle or outside linebacker. The problem with this, he was a walk-on. So I was talking to a couple people about this today. I was like, he was drafted in the MLB and decided to go play football. He's like, I want to play football. That's my first love.
I didn't even know that, bro. I'm gonna have
he got drafted by the MLB, and he left the contract to be a walk-on in Oregon, and that's how he plays. He plays like a maniac. So the problem with him is he doesn't really have the best instinct. He just goes. Yeah. And so he's out of place a lot. That's what I tell people. I'm like, if you ever watch the games, he makes a shit ton of tackles, but he's out of place because he relies on what he thinks going to happen versus what is actually happening and reading the play. So he's slow to react sometimes, and he'll pick the wrong gap sometimes, and they'll blow by him. Yeah, that's why he has so many.
They also had I think came through Omar Cooper, right? I saw he.
Yeah, they did Cooper today. Yeah.
Right.
So I saw that this afternoon after I was doing everything. Cooper, I've been expecting that, been waiting for it. Please don't draft him at 36 for just no.
Dude, I
just leave it
saw some stuff that's saying that they think he might be the second round, bro, at 30.
And
I thought about
he's
you,
a
bro.
top 5 wide receiver. And this is
Yeah.
the problem. There's so much value with him at 36. I don't know how you
Yeah.
can pass on it.
Yeah.
So it's just, if he's there at 36, I'm like, I don't want a wide receiver, but
yeah. Would
yeah,
you
it's
be
smart.
cool with getting him though? Would you be cool with it?
It's smart. Him at
Yeah.
36, he's a first round talent, period. So
Yeah.
I can't see them passing on him at 36.
Yeah, especially if he's there, if he's available, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's official with Cousins now. I saw they posted that. I saw that, man, you know.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for him to select his number. I told people he's either going to go 16 or 18. That's all he can do right now because every other number is taken.
Yeah.
So, got to get those, you got to have him put like Kirk Bands on a jersey or something.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to start. People are saying, "Oh, he's not going to win the camp job," and I'm like, he knows Kubiak's offense. I bet you he does. He's going to come out there day one looking better than because camp. So in camp, everybody looks good. Besides Aiden O'Connell, he looks horrible every camp.
Dude. So, I was not an AOC guy, bro, and like so many people over the years are like, "Give him a shot." I'm like, dude, no, it's not. He's had a shot. He's not the guy. And it's like it's just not going to happen with him, man. He'll be. Well, I think he's gone next year anyway, right? I think.
He's making $3 million
for next year, right?
This year. After this year, we don't have him anymore. I'm going to make a prediction. I say we trade him pre-draft, get a draft pick, and draft somebody they want, so they can have another backup quarterback for 3 to 4 years on a rookie deal.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean,
but
he
the
could
problem
be a good
is
backup somewhere. He could be a good.
He will, but you're not going to get more than a 6th or 7th pick for him. Getting a 5th is dreaming. That's if somebody goes into, I'd say, the draft with not having a backup. They need one. They're like, "Oh, we'll give you a 5th."
Yeah.
The only way I can see us getting a 5th for him after draft if a quarterback gets injured and we ship him off somewhere. That's the only way.
And I don't think there's a lot of tape on him either in the NFL because, dude, it's been a circus with quarterbacks with us anyway. So he doesn't really have too much of good highlights.
He's a starter, and that's okay. You need that stuff in the NFL. There's not a big deal with that. But it's just he's not that guy. And I keep telling people he's not that guy. Quit talking about him. Quit saying he's a starting quarterback. He's not. He never will be. He's slow. He can't read defenses. He doesn't have a quick enough release. He's just not a good scrambler. It's just he has poor pocket awareness. And so last year in camp, because it was like, "Oh, AOC's going to start over Geno," I'm like, "No, he's not." And it's not even. It doesn't even look close in camp at all. And I told people why. I was like, "So like I have a timer on my phone, and what I'll do is when he hikes the ball, I would start the timer and film him, and like, oh, that's a sack. 4 seconds, that's a sack. He's still in the pocket at 4 seconds. He's a sack.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, he drops back and he stands in the pocket for 5 seconds and then rifles a touchdown." Yeah, because you can't hit him. That's why he scored. They're like, "Oh, Aiden O'Connell with a 30-yard back shoulder fade." I'm like, "Yeah, he was in the pocket for 5.5 seconds. In the NFL, that's a sack."
Yeah, and he can't run for nothing, bro. He cannot run like for a first down for his life, bro. Like
he can't run laterally. He can run straight ahead. He ran like a 4.7 40, which is wild. I don't know how, but he can't run. He has no lateral movement. With the ball in his hand, he's slow.
Yeah. It was frustrating watching him play, bro. I was like, bro, this guy
you kind of knew week after week, like, this ain't it. And we were forced to watch him.
You like same old Raiders, man. Like,
Yeah. Hopefully, we get Mendoza a call today. I saw a couple other Raider pages saying we're going to draft Ty Simpson. I was like, if we draft Ty Simpson first overall, Spytek deserves to get fired. He deserves to get fired. That's going to be the biggest
especially with all that, especially with everything around it. Like, you got a chance to get the better option. I feel honestly, you got to go with it, bro. You have to. You know what I mean? Especially what and I feel like they're going to do it. I know some people are saying now that you got Cousins, go ahead and trade it away. And it's like, nah, there's no need for that.
Because people are like, "Oh, let's get CJ Carr next year." I'm like, we're not trading the first overall pick because you don't know if you're going to get a quarterback next year. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You're in quarterback purgatory again with Kirk Cousins and AOC again in Vegas. No, we don't want that.
Not going to happen.
So I think
what's the name? Manning. They're like, "Oh, Manning or something." They're like, "Oh, he's." I'm like, dude, like you never know.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out next year, but the problem is you don't know what if Kirk Cousins wins you 8 games, and guess what? You're out of a quarterback, and then you got to trade up for it. Yeah. So getting the first overall pick, you're guaranteed to get who you want. You just take him. Yeah, it might not be the best value, but you take him. Who cares?
My boy said
that's
screw
what.
Ty Simpson in the comments. He said screw Ty Simpson, bro. Hey,
Yeah,
did you see what Lil Wayne said? I think he was on I don't know exactly what show it was. He was talking about how Fernando Mendoza, he said, what did he do last year? Because he's with Cal State. And he's basically saying that it was the coaching that got him to be where he was at. I don't know if you saw that. Did you
no,
see
I didn't
that?
see that. No, who
Yeah,
said
I
that?
saw him say Lil Wayne said that. He said something about
All right, Lil Uzi Vert's better, anyways. Whatever.
yeah, but we'll see how it works, man. Like I said, at first I was like, man, let's just go ahead and throw Mendoza in there. But I understand the process and what needs to be done, you know what I mean, to get him in there, and instead of just throw him to the Wolves. I understand. I just feel like it's a short leash, man. And like you said, what if he wins you 8 games? You know what I mean? But, hopefully he doesn't get hurt or injured or nothing like that,
Yeah.
We'll see,
So one of the things like that I always touch on, and I like to talk about it. Bill Belichick talks about drafting players, and he has basically specific guidelines.
Yeah.
And I'd have to pull it up because I can't remember off the top of my head, but he talks quarterbacks. So quarterbacks, when you draft them NFL, he wants 2 or 3 years starting. He wants them to be, I think it was over like 6'2", 215, 220. And take a wild guess which box Ty Simpson doesn't check. Either one of those. He has 1 year starting, and he's 6'1", 205. Yeah. And then they have to be accurate, quick release, like things like that. Have a strong arm. Simpson doesn't have any of that. They have to be athletic. Simpson isn't athletic. So he's not athletic, doesn't have a big arm, only started a year, didn't win very much in that year, wasn't the best player on the team. And then he's undersized.
Yeah.
He doesn't check any boxes. So people like Bill Parcells, Belichick, some of these older coaches who are some of the greatest coaches ever play, know what they were doing, and they drafted quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Belichick had Bledsoe and Brady. Parcells had Phil Simms and a couple other guys. Hostetler won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They know what they're talking about when it comes to quarterbacks. And they would say stay away from Ty. They wouldn't draft Ty Simpson. So that's what I revert to when I see that. Yeah, it's a little old school mentality because a lot of players transfer and they start 1 year now, but you need few years of starting. Look at Mitch Trubisky when he was drafted in the first round. Had 1 year starting, no real tape, no real success, and look, he fell flat on his face. So that usually happens. So I just want to stay away from Simpson. I don't want to go anywhere near him, and I think whoever's going to get, like I said, they're going to get fired.
Yeah,
I think
Mendoza's the guy. My boy said he ain't even close to Mendoza. Not at all. No, not at all.
No. It's media hype. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is.
There was no talk about Mendoza being as good as Ty Simpson anytime during the regular season or in the playoffs. It did not start until after the season was over. Nobody was saying take Ty Simpson number 1 overall. Nobody. Not a single person. They don't have anything to talk about, and they want to create clicks. And it's a bunch of BS. And I'm like, nope, not partaking. Mendoza's better. 6'5", 235, has a stronger arm. He's more. The thing is, he's more athletic too. That's the other part.
Yeah, he is.
I understand if Simpson was somebody like Jalen Hurts, like could run. He's not.
Yeah,
he's small and he can't run. Like no. Like
yeah.
He's a system quarterback at Bama. Like
Yeah, I think Mendoza's a lot, bro. I think it's pretty much. Regardless of anybody gonna say it's gonna be clickbait, I feel like honestly, especially with him working with Brian Greasy and all that stuff, already working on the offense, it's a deadlock. You know what I mean? And it seems like this year, honestly, the Raiders seem like they got more of a plan. You know what I mean? In place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
My boy said, "Well, Simpson started before Mendoza did, and he didn't do anything."
Wait, what? No, he didn't. What are you talking about?
He said, "Well, Simpson started before Mendoza did, and he didn't do anything."
No, Simpson started this year. Mendoza's been a starter for 3 years. So there's that. I don't know if that makes sense. But Mendoza started 2 years at Cal before he went to Indiana. So and Simpson was a first-year starter this year.
Yeah, but it's a deadlock with Fernando, bro. It's a deadlock, and I think the fans are like him too. I think the fans are like him. They rally behind him. Like I said, they have patience. You know what I mean? Everything will start to come together, man. I'm just liking what I'm seeing. I feel a lot better. Even with Cousins being there, like I said, I don't feel he's the future, but I feel like it's a good move. You know what I mean? Get somebody back there. And I know everybody talks about him. They're like, oh, he's a good guy off the field. He's positive. He's this. And then someone brought up the whole thing about Penix, how Penix said he didn't get zero help from him. So I was kind of like, maybe the Atlanta organization wasn't really that good.
I think it's more the organization than anything because
you saw that though, right?
Atlanta, Kirk Cousins was supposed to be the guy. Yeah. And Penix is not going to pan out. And even Cousins came out and said, I thought we were supposed to compete. Why did we draft him? Like, he was very blunt about it. He's like, this makes no sense. Why would you draft him? Just like Favre was pissed off with Rodgers, but Rodgers had some talent. Penix is not that talented. He was a 25 or 24-year-old injury-prone quarterback.
Yeah.
The Falcons were idiots to draft him. So I think Cousins was more or less like, I know this guy's going to take my job, but I'm not going to make it easy for him, and I'm not going to help him do it. He's like, this is my job, my money. Here, he knows what he is. He's a bridge. He's not going to start for us next year. We are not going to pay him $40 million to play for us next year. That is not going to happen. He's getting cut.
No.
He's a one-year quarterback. Gone.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody was freaking out about that deal. They're like, bro, 5 years. And I'm like, man, at first I looked at it and I started looking at it's not even that bad, dude. Because
Raider fans don't like to read sometimes and do research. And I tell them, I'm like, don't believe. I was like, go look at the contract. It's effectively a 1-year deal with 2 years of pay. That's what he's on.
Yeah.
And we're paying nothing this year. He gets 10 next year. He's going to start some games for us and get cut.
Well, they paying like 1.3. Raiders paying like 1.3 or something like that.
He's getting 1.3 from us and then 8.7 from Atlanta. The next year he has his $10 million bonus and he's out. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
He's getting $11 million for a year of playing. And as a backup quarterback, you're going to get $5 to $10 million. So somebody that's been around as long as him, cool. He gets $10 million for 2 years. Great. Have a good day.
Someone said he's got the best agent, bro, because he gets paid, bro.
Oh, dude, I don't know. His agent probably does deals with the devil. I don't even know, man.
Nothing, bro. I tell you, he get paid fat, bro. You're like, what?
For Kirk Cousins to have one playoff win, and I will point this out, Kurt deserves every penny. You know why? Because he has more playoff wins than Justin Herbert. So just think about that. He has more playoff wins than Justin Herbert. So he's worth those $300 million because Herbert's getting paid too and can't win a playoff game. So, talk all the crap you want about Kirk Cousins. He's won a playoff game.
Yeah, for real.
That's how you aggravate Charger fans.
Oh, yeah. They get so mad. That and the no rings, man. You know what I'm saying?
No rings. Hey, I had somebody comment one time, we're one win away or we're one Super Bowl away from you never going to use that again. I'm like, it's been like that since 1960 and it hasn't happened. Yeah. And it's not going to happen. You know, there's too many good teams in the AFC.
Too. Sharing the stadium, they hate that too.
But, well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're, a little over 30-minute mark. We're live every Monday, 6:15. We got 100 viewers in here today. It's starting to pick up a little bit. So make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. We're going to be streaming on X, YouTube, and then Slim's Instagram. Eventually, we'll be putting it on my Instagram when I'm off timeout. But make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'm on timeout for another 200 days. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Follow us, support us. Out here doing the podcast, having fun. And, hey, we'll see everybody draft day.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Much love. All right, bro.